I wanted to make a video to document and cover everything that's happened to me over the last 2.5 years. Well, it's been going on longer than that, but here is my new home. Some old tracks right here from buggies and stuff. And over there is my mother's grave. I just left. I was praying. I wasn't always like this, but I was going to explain how I got here. I spent 10 years in the military. I'm a disabled veteran. My name is Michael McCutcheon, and I'm from Valamosa Springs, Alabama, and lived in Lacey Springs, Alabama for most of my life. My time in the military was great. It was outstanding. And I was oblivious to the world, I guess. I was living in a bubble until I come home and I bought some land, and there's a little bit of an issue there, but we changed it. I didn't realize what was going on, and that this was all one big scam, plot, whatever, against me. This place is beautiful. There's a creek right down there with all kind of stuff, and that's part of the reason why things happened to me the way it has. I found out a lot of things that I guess I wasn't supposed to find out or wasn't supposed to know. And when I bought this store, gas station, tire shop, mechanic shop, well, I started seeing a lot of terrible things, all directed at me. They did not want me to have that store. They did not want me to have any money, because if I were to have any or gain any support, that their wrongdoings would be exposed and they may have to pay for it. Which I don't care if they pay for it or not, but I did want them to stop, and I just wanted to be happy. Well, it cost me my marriage, 2 of them. And my third relationship here, where I've literally fell in love with this girl beyond anything I could ever imagine, it's pretty much destroyed it. And it's not really these people's fault, all of them, because they're doing what they're made to do. I was repeatedly robbed, well, put in jail for stupid things. I was kicking a couple of them out of my house because they were about to have sex on my couch, looked like, not knowing that they were just trying to make it look like I was. And I got arrested for verbal harassment for telling these people to get out of my house. I've got arrested for what other people was doing. I've repeatedly been attacked. People come at me with weapons, trying to hurt me. And they were paid to do it, or promised to be paid if they succeeded in setting me up or taking me out. And that whatever they robbed, they would get to keep. And, well, the sad thing about it is they were doing these things because they were forced to by some of the local police. And our last 2 sheriffs here in Morgan County have been nothing but a couple of drug dealing thugs that either you work for them or you go to jail. So a lot of these people went to jail just because they wouldn't do as they were told. Set up and put in jail. And nobody's going to question the police because, they're supposed to be the good guys. Well, I thought so too. Especially me wearing a uniform and swearing an oath just like they did to protect foreign and domestic. And never realized that it was that much domestic. That so much so that I've contacted everybody that I can, and they cut me off because there's a few people, it's a big group of people that have a lot of money, a lot of pull, a lot of power, and got their friends and family in positions to where, there's no chance of any justice whatsoever except for theirs. And they did this for a long time. I've got multiple videos on my YouTube channel, multiple more to upload to verify everything that I'm saying. These people killed my dog. They killed my cat. They very near killed my wife. And they repeatedly tried to set me up, and I'd catch them at it and call them out on it. And then they would try something else. Well, they ended up, I had everything that I needed to go to court and win easily to prove what I'm saying. And, well, they used the guy that I bought the store from, Billy Oaks, very, very rich, lots of money, getting old. And when I come into the store to take it over, I was going to get some gas and touch base with him. And, well, he said he didn't have no gas. And this guy's been here for 40 years. He grew up with my grandfather. They was best friends. And he said, we ain't got no gas. And I looked at him real funny and I was, what do you mean you ain't got no gas, Billy? And he said, well, they robbing me blind. When you going to be here? Well, I told him I'll be here tomorrow. Well, when I stood up to protect this old man and stop all of this, and they were doing everything under the sun, and he could do nothing back. And I always wondered why he sold me that land and sold me that store. And now I know why, because he was helpless, defenseless, and scared. And the only one that would stand up for him, well, that was me. And when I did, I had a whole slew of people, police, drug dealers, club managers, just a bunch of thugs that work for the police. Do as you're told, or they'll put you under the jail, and ain't nobody gonna come looking for them because they ain't nothing but thieves and liars, and who's gonna believe them? And so the police and whatnot, they've got their own little deal going on for drugs, prostitution, and all this whatnot, and they think that because they're in a small town like this that nobody's ever going to notice, and they'll get rid of whoever that does. Well, just so happens I'm one of those that found out, and although I can see their points of views and how they think and all this, nobody wants to get caught for their shenanigans and whatnot, I guess. But this is completely and utterly wrong to do people like this. They stole everything I had, about 6 different vehicles, my store, my tools, everything that I had. Left me with nothing but the clothes on my back. And they done this because after a while of me catching them on their shenanigans against me, well, they filed a court case against me, come grab Billy up, put him in a home, and not long later he passed away. Well, that brought into remembrance that one of his nephews was out there drunk one night early on and was hollering at me saying, Michael, don't you think if you get the F out of the way that, his wife, Gladys Oaks, could put Billy in a home, sell everything off, and move down to Florida with Crucy Hubbard, which is the one that pushed all of this with the courts and everything. But Gladys acted like she didn't know anything about it, but I highly doubt that. But anyhow, she filed a motion because it was supposed to be on November 22nd of last year, which is 2022, and I was fine with that. We was redoing the store, painting it, and cabinets and everything. Spent about $40,000 right there, but I'd spent a whole lot more because I had about $400,000 worth of tires in the building that when I got there, he had rotten and dry rotted tires that were no good, and he just couldn't see them, and they were selling them to him like that from the junkyards. Anyhow, I tried to speak with local police and internal affairs and the FBI, and I even sent a letter to the Attorney General over the state of Alabama informing him and putting a flyer in there from the sheriff's office that said modern day slavery. And well, that's exactly what it really is. You do what you're told, or die or go to jail, one or the other. Because I've had them pull guns on me and get rough with me and threaten to kill me and whatnot. And I've never had a record. I've always been pretty good. I've got medals and coins and awards from the military, from 3-star generals, 2-star generals, 1-stars. I mean, I was at 3 Corps headquarters of Fort Hood. So I was right around a lot of high brass. And you read those awards, and they'll tell you how I'm a soldier, and I ain't afraid to get down and dirty to get the job done. And that everything in them awards were good. And I get here, and these thieves and liars, criminals with a mile-long record, are trying to set me up and claiming that I'm a thief and a liar, and I get arrested for various different stupid things. That why was I being arrested? Well, that give me a record. They were building a profile on me to fit their agenda that I was a bad person and I was up there doing criminal things, which I was not. I got so much to where I was afraid they were trying to do something all the time that I couldn't even leave the building, but to go to maybe Hardee's just a mile down the road to get something to eat and come back because I was afraid they was up to something. So it was on my own personal prison, hell, if you want to say, of being at that store. And they used this girl that was up there helping me, which turns out her parents are part of this, and they're all part of these groups that communicate with each other, and well, they set her up, and I tried to warn her, but she didn't understand, and and then they took her kids to use against her, to use her against me, and well, they did. I had a no trespassing sign up that they couldn't get by, and because I was staying at the store and not doing anything, they could not get me in trouble for anything. So they used a fake warrant for her pinching her mother back in January before I even met her, and to arrest her. And this is in June that they done the arresting, which is, like I said, Crucy filed a motion to have my court date moved up, which I didn't care because I knew I had this one, and they did too. They knew it. I'd caught them many times on camera, and many of them are up on my YouTube channel. and many more to come soon. But to get past that no trespassing sign, they had to have a warrant. So they'd done this bogus warrant to where they could show up, and just so happens, coincidence, I don't think so, I've got to go to court on June 30th, because they moved it from November 22nd to June 30th. So I get up that morning, I open my door, and I got 4 flats on my vehicle. And I slammed the door, and I was upset because I had to go to court, and I said, figures. And, well, that wasn't it. So I couldn't even get back to the bathroom to go use the bathroom. And I get a knock on my door, and it's the Morgan County police there to arrest that girl for pinching her mama back in January. So here's 6-7 months gone by, and there was no warrant. So obviously it wasn't a big deal. She just pinched her mother. But they used that to create a warrant because, after, police report's been made, you get a couple of years that you can still file a warrant. So they used that to target and weaponize it to stop me. And that in itself tells you that they knew they were caught, and that if this made it to court and the truth was to come out, that they were caught. They were going to be exposed for what they were doing. So they give me 4 flats and served that warrant right when I was supposed to be leaving for court, and holding me there, preventing me from going to court. Therefore, they promptly and swiftly issued a eviction. Well, it's supposed to have been, from what I understand, just closing the doors on the store until the court was settled. And I had wrote the judge a letter saying, hey, I'd love to be there right now, but Morgan County Police is holding me up. And, and that's a legitimate, because they were there. I mean, it wasn't, there's proof of this. And so it should have been understandable, but it wasn't, because that's not what they wanted. They wanted me out. So, and they turned that shutting the door to the store into eviction from the store and the house. They wouldn't even let me go in the house to take anything. I could not get my vehicles, nothing, my tools, nothing. They walked me outside, kept me there, took my keys, locked the door, no notice, nothing. Just, I lost the case because I was a no-show, and get out. That's what it ended up being. And, well, I've been homeless ever since June 30th. And not only have I just been homeless, they have still been interfering with my life and after me. They pull me over 2 or 3 times a day, writing me tickets as every chance they get because I can't do anything. I've got a pending charge that I can't get a job right now. So they have put their foot on me and pushing me down, and every time I try to step up and do something, they kick me back down. I get a home. Well, all of a sudden, the homeowner wants to kick me out and asking why they can't explain. And come to find out that, well, that's because somebody come talk to them. And, well, I'd get in a home, they'd kick me out. Then they would let me come back and then kick me out again. And making it, and constantly bleeding me of money was the purpose, because I'd have to pay to get in, and then they would kick me out. And just like with these tickets and fines and stuff like that, that bleeding me of money, so I would have none to fight back. And it worked pretty effectively because I'm broke and I have nothing. And you see where I'm living? It's beautiful. There's a grove right over there. It's pretty nice. There's a creek right over there. And I've got a cave that I sleep in. It's a pretty nice cave, though. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and stop here. This is what has happened to me. And these people that have done this is pretty evil. And they've been doing it for a long time. And to other people around here, quite a few actually that I've spoken to, that this has happened to. And it's a pretty common thing around here. And I was praying at my mother's grave over there just a little bit ago that I make this video and that it touch or go wherever it needs to go to get the help that I need to put a stop to this. And somebody out there has got to care. Maybe. But from what I've seen, nobody around here does too much, or if they do, they're too scared to do anything or say anything for fear of what might happen to them. But somebody should do something. And it just really breaks my heart just to think that I used to think the world of our country and our government, only to find out that they do this kind of stuff. And we wonder what's wrong with the world today. You know, that kind of stuff right there. So I'm going to end this and go try to clean my feet because they're raw. I've been walking and I'm afraid they're going to get infected and I'm going to end up dead. And I'm pretty sure that they're going to end up putting me in jail for long anyway for something. Or take me out, whatever. At least I tried. And there I am. Sucks. Life sucks sometimes.